My dad left me when I was 6 years old. I felt like I had no love for my own blood, who made me. He didn't even care for me at that moment. That's hella messed up. I mean, sometimes he would be there, but he never took responsibilities. My dad would leave us and come back over and over again before he left for good. He would often get drunk with his homeboys. I would always wonder where he would go. He would get angry and violent with my mom. It would make me mad at him. Without my father around, it was like he wasn't even part of me. My mom and brother felt really depressed. She felt like she had no love from her husband. My brother, as he got older, got even more depressed. We survived without my dad by struggling hard. Sometimes I wish he would have shown me more love and taken care of us. He could have respected my mom more like a real man. I mean, I sometimes wish we could have had the father-son type relationship you see on TV. It's like a lot of the time, I'm figuring out how to be a man on my own.
My name is Brian MacArthur and I'm 21 years old. When my father left me, I had to be between 2 to 3 years old.
My name is Jennifer Mendez. I'm 16 and I'm from Oakland, California. I got to know my dad when I was around 6. And before that, he wasn't there.
Yeah, my name is Nip. I was about 5 years old when my father left.
My name's Carlos. I'm 15. My father left me. I was like 3 or 4.
Growing up without a father was kind of hard because we didn't have a role model to look up to and somebody who we could rely on when we needed support for anything.
I remember him being in the project, giving me phone calls when I was little, talking to him on the phone from jail. You know, I remember getting letters from him, you know. I remember waiting for him when he was out to come pick me up and never showing up.
I looked up to him like a hero, I guess you could say. He was always like really dedicated to his work and stuff, and that, you know, he was a good guy and everything. He just like messed up or whatever.
I don't remember nothing about my dad. My sisters, they were fortunate enough to grow up with their dad, so how it affected my whole family is just like them like feeling like a little sorry for me. Like, oh, Brian, where's your dad at? We got ours. Like, where's yours?
I know why he left me. He was incarcerated. You feel me? He was incarcerated for a long time. Got like 10 years. You feel me? So it wasn't like it was his choice.
Well, it was hard, mostly because my mom, she had to work really hard to pay the house off, and she had to work really late. So it was kind of hard because sometimes we didn't even have food. She said like good things about him because she didn't want us to get like a bad image of him. He was hooked on drugs and because he was stupid, youth, and he didn't care about anything else. I think that him not being around kind of made me shyer, kind of. Like, my brother got violent, but I became kind of timid, and I used to like get away from people when I stayed isolated from like the family.
It affected my family a lot because my family used to be really united and stuff. Now they're like separate because everybody kind of went their own ways. And like when I was young, we used to have like huge get-togethers or whatever, and then like it was nice, you know, because like it was happy and like, you know, I thought that, you know, it was really important. But now it's like, man, everybody's kind of just struggling because everybody's just trying to like stay alive.
I actually met him again when I was 16 years old. He just tried to take me out to a baseball game. It was hella weird to me. I wasn't connected to him. It was been like just running to a stranger on the street like, hey man, let's go play baseball or see baseball or whatever. So I mean, I don't know, I just seen him, shook his hand, haven't seen him since.
I really wonder how someone can make that choice to throw away something so special as a piece of your own flesh and blood. I mean, that is a blessing from God. It hurts to know you don't have a dad in your life. Many of us kids bottle up our feelings. Sometimes we hold it all in, and when we let it out, we explode and sometimes even do crazy things. You see a lot of us kids wilding out or acting crazy in school or on the streets.
For a lot of kids, your father is the man that you see that you're going to grow to become. So it's kind of like you get to see the future you. The father not being there is going to make you feel like there are no rules. You could break any rule out there.
My brother right now, he's 20. He was violent. He used to hit me a lot. He used to scream to my mom. He didn't listen. He was rebellious. He'd do whatever he wanted to. It was his way, no other way. He started hanging around with gangs kind of, but then he kind of backed off and started doing better. But he used to always get in fights. He got suspended, expelled off of school.
I felt depressed and like angry because I would always see my dad and my mom like fighting, And my brother, he would get mad and stuff, and then he would like take it off on me, and I don't really know what's going on.
When growing up, especially when you're in the inner city, when you're in the projects, when you're in a low income environment, it's real hard growing up without that father figure, because you look to other places to get that role modelness, you know what I mean? And you have to adapt that on your own, and sometimes we look to the wrong role models and adapt that formula of being a man because we don't have that male influence around.
Really have no discipline. They don't know how to treat a woman. They curse. Yeah, this is just the father not being there and them relying on TV and all these other male figures to raise them is wrong.
I think that's what creates that void in knowing the proper course to go through as a man, you know what I mean? Everybody think you a man as soon as you old enough to buy a gun. Ain't no fighting, ain't no talking, ain't no intermediate. You go from a kid to a shooter, you know what I mean? It's like a real void. They don't have a proper upbringing. They think they get mad, they shoot somebody. You know what I mean? It ain't about that. You know what I mean? That's not what a man would do.
When you know you got a father who doesn't take part in your life or show they care, it feels like you're not worth anything. Like, why am I here if I don't even have my own dad to teach me the right way to be instead of being crooked all the time?
You're like left with a lot of questions that are never really answered. That kind of hurts, you know? Sometimes, you know, it makes people think that, you know, they're bad people or whatever. If their dad left them, like, he didn't care, they think that they're the same way and stuff.
For example, if a dad leaves his son, and his son, like, later on in life, when he's a teenager, gets a girl pregnant, he might leave his child because he doesn't know any better, and then that creates a cycle. So it just keeps on going on and on and on.
Today, it's even worse now because the family structure is so discombobulated. Families are not real well knit, and then you could tell in the generations to come, like each generation the family is more and more split up. It's really hurting our community, you know. It don't just affect the family, it affects the whole community because there's no unity in the household. If you can't have unity in the household, it can't be unity in the neighborhood, it can't be unity in the community, you know what I mean? And it just separates everybody, divides and conquers us.
I don't know, I didn't really think about him. He was kind of like a stranger to me whenever I seen him. I don't think about him as much. Only when he came around, he screamed at my mom, that's when I thought about him. Made me mad. He's a good person, I just think he was focused on other things and he shouldn't have. I mean, I forgive him. I've been forgiven. My best role model would probably be my mom, and then my brother, because I kind of looked up to him too. Go to church, do good, and yeah, just succeed in life, kind of.
I felt the void, but it was really like I had a support team. I had a good family instead of my dad. You know what I mean? His family was around, but he just wasn't able to be around. So I knew where he was, but it was just like, you know, is what it was. I call my grandfather daddy, you know what I mean? That's my father, my mom's father, you know, he really stepped in there. To this day, you know, he was at my house today putting together a computer for me, you know what I mean? So he really picked up that role.
The male figure in my life, I'd have to say by far is my brother, because like he was always there for me, like he always supported me and stuff. And I always like trusted him. He had a lot of influence on me. And he helped me with a lot of things, you know, emotion problems and stuff. And, you know, just with life, school, you know, everything. He was like a dad to me.
I don't think that he would even care if I did say anything to him. I could tell him I'm the president, and he would like, so where I left you, you know. I don't know, it wouldn't matter from me to him or him to me. I don't think that any kind of conversation would mean anything. If I felt like I wanted to tell him something, that would be like, it would be like I want him back in my life or something, you know. So since there is nothing for me to really tell him, it's like I don't really care if he's here or not, you know. I got everything I needed to be the man I am today, from my uncles, my brothers, and everybody else. A responsible dad is not a dad that thinks he's your dad just because he bring you into the world. He has to assume that he's your dad because he raised you. You have to be there to struggle with your kid, you know. You have to care about the new life that you bring into this world.
Try to do the best to connect with your child. think about what you do before you leave, because later on you might not have a second chance.
Having a father to be there when you need someone to listen and understand what you're going through is priceless.